You'll never find, bum 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 bum, a love quite like mine. Someone who cares for you the way that I do. Little Lou Rawls, you'll never find, bum 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 bum. What y'all know about Lou Rawls? Oh, I'm not bragging on myself, baby. No one else, no, no one else. Lou Rawls is smooth. It's a smooth brother. You're gonna miss my loving, gonna miss my loving when it's cold outside. You're gonna miss Lou, man. Rawls. My love. Whoa. You know Lou Rawls got plenty of loving singing like that. Just smooth. Just the type of guy you do not want to bring your woman around. Like Big Daddy Kane. Don't bring your woman around Big Daddy Kane. She's 35, 40-ish. Don't do it. You'll lose her. Because BDK will snatch your woman up without saying a word. He will. I'm the Big Daddy King. He will snatch her up. Man. Anyways, so you guys have been going in on your boy, especially in my last couple of videos, talking about who's going to get traded and when, why. One person even said, who was it, Ortiz? Was it Brian Ortiz? B, what's up, dog? Brian Ortiz comes down, he shoots from the key. Brian hits from the key. He's on fire. Brian Ortiz, man, he's like Kevin Love. Get rid of Kevin Love? Is that what you're saying? Look, I'll go to World Star Hip Hop. Let's do that. Let's go to World Star Hip Hop. See if this iPad is gonna work. Stop.
My name is Carol Foster.
Who cares? Shoot, my iPad is tripping. Anyways, I wanted to look up what Stephen A. Smith said about Kevin Love, and they're like, get rid of him. I'm like, wait, what? Why are we getting rid of Kevin Love? And we're getting rid of Kevin Love because of the way he performed in Game 5. And my whole thing is, hold on a minute. LeBron James and Kyrie Irving came through, okay, but Tristan Thompson didn't. J.R. Smith did. You know what I mean? It's like, hold the phone. I mean, I'm not a Kevin Love fan, but I'm like, geez. He's one of the big three. You know what I mean? He's one of the reasons why you guys won last year. And then, when I think about it, I'm like, well, wait a minute, LeBron, didn't you show up at the playoffs a couple times and everybody thought you were doing a James Harden on defense? You ever see James Harden play defense? Exactly. It was like, what's wrong with LeBron? This dude is spaced out. So, people were kind of wondering, where were you at during those playoffs? So I'm just kind of like, I don't know. Want to get rid of Kevin Love? Okay, that's on you guys. Go ahead. Get rid of him. I don't care. But let's not act like everybody, every time you guys had the pressure on you, that you performed that peak performance. And Stephen A. Smith was making a comment of, that's the time you're supposed to be at peak performance. And he was like, get rid of Kevin Love and get with Carmelo Anthony. My first reaction to that is going back to one of my videos that I did. I don't even know when I did it. And I talked about LeBron going to the Knicks. It was months ago. And I was like, LeBron wants to play with Carmelo. That's one of his homies. You know what I'm saying? Even though Melo's going through some issues with his baby mama, Lala. He might not, I don't know, he might not be playing at his peak performance. May have some anger up in there, little bit of anger. You angry, Melo, but you know Melo is Melo, and they're acting like he's gonna be a ball hog. Like he's gonna hog the ball, and they don't need another one of those. It's like I say, get him. Here's what I say: it's gonna happen anyway. What's going on? Yeah, I'm all right. I think they're gonna get. I think they're gonna get Melo anyway. So let me see if I can pull that up real quick. Because even though I am not a fan of Stephen A, I still. I mean, he's a professional. You know, he's been doing this for a long time. Oh, and I just wanted to, one of you have been asking me to do a music video on the history of music and how I do my whole thought process. And the reason why I haven't done it yet is because I didn't know exactly what you wanted. But now that I do, I just got off, helping some people move their house, so I wanted to get this in before the sun goes down. But I am going to get your video out, bro. I'll probably do it tomorrow. I'll probably go ahead and do it tomorrow, but that's not an easy video for me to do. And I won't be doing it out here. I'll be doing it at the crib. So, just wanted to tell you, I did not forget about you. I know you asked for it days ago, and I actually done something like that already. I think the title is Learn About Music or something like that. But I will, do another video just for you. I forgot what your name is, but I'll definitely get that going for you. I do not like to forget about any of my subscribers, especially when you ask me directly to do something. I like to try to get that out, but you got to understand that there's a lot of people talking to me, and you have to be. It's not so much you have to be specific, but I gotta have some specificity. Specificity. I gotta have some specificity to it. I gotta know exactly like where I'm going, so I'm just not rambling. You know what I mean? Okay, so here's first take, and we're gonna listen to these guys go at it for a second. Beautiful evening out here. God bless.
If you're the Cavs, what's the first move you're making heading into the offseason?
I'm trading Kevin Love, and I'm trying to acquire Carmelo Anthony. It's the first thing that I'm doing. The reason why is because even though I think Paul George would clearly be both myself and Max's first choice, I think it's going to be harder to get a Paul George than it would be to get our Carmelo Anthony.
We talked about
Carmelo
that.
Anthony has the hearts, the guts. Not only that, the perimeter game where he's not going to disappear in a closeout game. That's just not going to happen with Carmelo Anthony on the floor, particularly with LeBron James and Kyrie helping him. I don't know if there's enough basketballs that some could make that argument, but I'm telling you right now, nobody is going to force Carmelo Anthony to back down. Nobody's going to scare him, and no moment is going to scare him. And I think that's a very, very big deal. And because of that, I'm not hesitant. I'm going for it. It's something that I thought, if you remember, nobody was out there out front more than me speaking about how the Cavs needed to unload Kevin Love in order to get Carmelo Anthony. It was specifically for moments like we saw in Game 5 where Kyrie shows up, J.R. Smith shows up, LeBron James shows up, but then is forced to roll his eyes in utter disgust at Kevin Love because Kevin Love just didn't seem to be the guy in Game 5 that he was in Game 4 or Game 2. Things along those lines. Those are not issues you're going to have with Carmelo Anthony. It's the first thing I'm doing if I'm Cleveland.
I don't think they need another ISO scorer. I think what the Cavs really need is a modern big, a rim protector who can also guard out in space, who can switch onto smaller players if you need him to, who can hit the three if you want to play 5 out or post you up, like a version of that who was available last year, Al Horford, right? The ideal version of that will be what we hope Karl Anthony Towns can develop into. Golden State has something like that minus the rim protection in Draymond Green, and that's really what's made them different, until Kevin Durant came and put them over the top. But those guys are really hard to find, and unless Phil Jackson is dumb enough to give you like Porzingis, who's a version of that, for Kevin Love, and you never know with the Knicks, you probably are not going to find that. So then what else could they use that's more than just ISO scoring? If you look at the history of the league, even the recent history, two two-way wing players is probably the fastest way to a championship. Jordan and Pippen, LeBron and Wade. Who's like that if not Paul George, Stephen A., who may be available? Jimmy Butler. So, is Jimmy Butler good enough to be the best player on a championship team? No. But the second or maybe third best player on a championship team? Yes. The question is, does he...
For one, Michael Jordan at that time was the best player in the league. Okay. And two, Scottie Pippen was two-time, MVP or not MVP or All-American or whatever it was. Some stat he had that was above everybody else. Not to mention, Scottie Pippen was really, really, really good at defense. So when you have, those two players, or two players like that who are the upper echelon of the league, you know what I mean? Yeah, you're looking at least going to the playoffs and at least getting into the championship, even if you don't win, but they just happen to win because they also had, somebody who we refer to as the Worm, which is Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman was the number one rebounder in the league at what, 6'6"? He's 6'6" or something like that, 6'8". He wasn't the tallest guy. I mean, that's just the facts. But he didn't have a lot of points. This dude didn't have finesse, but this dude could get the ball, and that was all that he cared about. He was playing football on the basketball court. The Worm did not care. That's why they call him the Worm. I mean, he was going after that ball, and he got that ball. You can talk about his marriages. You can talk about him hanging out with Kim Jong-il, but that dude was a bad dude. So when you got, three players like that, plus they had, other players on the team, they were just good. It's like, and then you try to, bring that up to date today. It's like, Carmelo Anthony, and then you got LeBron James, and who else you gonna have on that team? Okay, then you got Kyrie Irving. You're getting rid of Love. You got to really start comparing who's doing who and what and where. For one, has Carmelo Anthony ever been MVP? I mean, if you really want to start throwing that out there. And then the other guys who he was talking about, other than Paul George, we've already talked about Paul George coming and playing with LeBron. We've already discussed that. So here's what I see, you guys. And I told you guys, we all knew this. It's not like I told you and then nobody knew. Like, as soon as the game was over, they were going to start talking about trade rumors, and you guys were hitting me up. I think Brian Ortiz was hitting me up with, hey, they started trade rumors. And then, of course, Kill for Kill, Echelon, and, all the other guys, especially my right-hand man, Supreme Law, you guys were all sending me links and stuff like that to, what's been going on, as far as trade rumors and all that other stuff is concerned. But we already knew that it's going to be what I call a fire sale where everything must go. It's just going to be a rebuilding of a team around LeBron James. That's what it's going to be. And only people I'm going to tell you something. I told you guys, I compare LeBron James just like I compared to the Pats. The Pats got their coach and they got their quarterback Tom Brady, and they built that team around those two people. And that's it. You build around Tom Brady. You build around LeBron James. Everybody else, to me, really doesn't matter. Now, Kyrie Irving, yeah, that's Bron's due. You know what I'm saying? But, if they thought they could get a better Kyrie Irving, then they would. They're just not. To me, he's pretty close to being the best. If not, he's the best point guard in the game right now. And point guards are hard to find. Plus, he showed up. He did all that he could. You just don't get rid of a guy like that. You know what I mean? So, it wouldn't surprise me if they did get a big man, got rid of Thompson. That wouldn't surprise me at all. Tell him go hang out with the Kardashians, and then fool around and got rid of Love, made some space, got Carmelo Anthony. Now, if they do that, well, okay, let me say this: I already believe that the Cavs are going to win the championship this coming year. I said this last year. The Cavs are going to lose in 17 and they're going to win in 2018. And somebody else in the comments was backing me up on that because they were looking at the flip flop of between the Cavs winning and then Golden State winning. And I concur. catch me if you can. Do you concur? I concur. McNally, good movie. Go see it or rent it. I might rent that tonight. Good old Tom Hanks, man. And okay, so I'm going to go back to comments. You're gonna miss my love in the midnight hour, baby. They're gonna miss. I'm gonna go back to some comments here and see if I can pick up some more information on what you guys were saying to me because it is very important. But nonetheless, so you guys know where I'm going with this. This is all falling together in my eyes. It really is. It's all coming together. As the Joker said, it's all part of the plan. R.I.P. to my boy. He played that part so good. He played that part so good. Heath Ledger. So, anyways, so I want to get to some comments, but nonetheless, so I mean, it's all the plan. It's all part of the plan. It looks like it's all the same thing. It's all the same mix to me. Uh, let's see. Cavs will get Jimmy, or most likely Paul George, and then it won't be lopsided. Okay, this came from Jonathan Workington. I hope I said your name right. Workington. So, okay, Jonathan. So Jonathan says they're going to get Paul George. I need to look up, who Paul George is and, how effective he can be. Because, like I said, I believe that they're going to go to the championship. They're going to win in 7. Now, to solidify that, I'm not going to say
With
that.
an unlimited mileage warrant.
I'm not going to say, oh, they're going to get rid of Kevin Love and get somebody who sucks, you know what I'm saying, and or it's just not going to show up, or it's just not going to mesh well with them, or can't compete with Durant, Curry, Clay, and Green. You know what I'm saying? It's just not Iguodala. If you can't compete with those 5, I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, they're gonna go and win, because we know that that's not true. Like, are we or are we all not in a state of shock? I know Mikey James is. He's just like, I can't believe it didn't go to Game 7. I'm like, Mikey, I can't believe it either, bro. You know what I'm saying? Me and him don't usually disagree, but we agree on that. We're in a state of like holy cow. He's like, well, they lost a lot of money. And then, a couple of you brought up this, a conversation of, we can't believe it didn't go to Game 7. And then the reality hit, like, yeah, but what if you had another game? What if you had another Game 4? What if you had another Game 4? What if Game 4 it turned into Game 6? What did you expect would happen in Game 7? I'll tell you what, if they did another Game 4 on us, it would be pandemonium. I think they would have lost more money than they would have gained. I think it was just like, you know what, we're just going to let this one go. Somebody wrote me and said it's not fixed. I'm like, you're out of your dang on mind. It is fixed. But, just to think about the money that they did lose. What is the revenue that for each game? Was it 300 million or something like that? It's up there. It's high. So, 5 games and it's over. 2 games and it's out 600 million. Plus the residuals from that, plus the marketing, and I mean it just keeps going all over and over and on and on and on because you keep talking about it, and then people like us keep talking about it, and the system just keeps going, on and on and on. But you got to think about that. What if the I don't know how many people that watch it, probably clearly, a couple 100 million watch it. But what if they started losing money, just like the NFL is losing money, simply because of what happened in the NFL? People cannot believe that Tom Brady came back from a 28-3 or 6 deficit and won. It's just inconceivable to them. So it's just look. The statistics even said it, and people were saying it even in Game 4, and even in Game 3. They were like, no team has ever came back from 3-0. They said no team ever came back from 3-1, and then LeBron and his crew did it last year. But they was like, no team has ever came back from 3-0 ever. So they were already in the record books for what they did, but they were like, are they about to make And this is where everybody was like, yeah, this is about to be this whole Space Jam thing. But but just think of how hard it is to do that. So just think of how many people would have did Arsenio Hall and went things that make you go What if those people would have been like, I'm not buying no jersey, I'm not buying your shoes, I'm not buying no more season tickets, because there's just no possible way that Curry, Durant, Clay, Iguodala, no, there's no way LeBron's crew could beat them. No way possible. And Game 4 was a prime example of how unbalanced it really was and what they had to do to win. You throwing coaches out of the game. You, you, you tossing out coaches. You tossing out major players. Nah. I told you guys last year when I saw Green get tossed out, I was like, it's going to happen again. Because that's what they use. That's their go-to. That's one of their fake plays. So, look, they have to pick up, Cleveland has to pick up somebody who's believable. It doesn't matter who it is. Is it possible that this person can match up with the firepower of Golden State? That's if Golden State doesn't dissolve. A lot of you people think that Durant's going to leave. I don't believe he's going to leave. But if Golden State doesn't dissolve, you know, then you're going to have the same thing going on. I truthfully believe that the Spurs are going to end up going. Now, a lot of you people are going to seriously disagree with that. And, I'm going to tell you guys the reason why I'm throwing that out there is not to get you guys to be like, oh, the Spurs. The only reason why I'm throwing that out there is because of what we've seen in the past, 3 seasons. I think the script is going to have to change so people can keep believing that it's real. The words of the Matrix. What is real? How do you define real? You know what I'm saying? How do you define real, Neo? Is it or is it not real? Do you want the red pill or the blue pill, Neo? I mean, that's all it is really is. It really is. Which pill do you want to take? Is it real to you or is it not? Or is it surreal? Do you want it to be real? Do you want to know that the NBA is fixed? Some people just want to believe that it's not fixed. It's not fixed. I will never believe that it's fixed. I don't care what you do. It is not fixed. It is real. There is no big brother behind the system. There is no such thing as Illuminati pushing the buttons. There's no such thing as the Big Seven family who are controlling the banking systems. Uh, uh, the DuPonts they just have something to do with gas. Uh, that's it. That's all their family does. You know what I'm saying? Dick Cheney is a godsend. I mean, there's just some people who just refuse to believe it. That's all that's to it. And there's nothing you can do about that. Alright, let me get to some more comments and then I'm going to go ahead and be out on this video. I know some of you guys like long videos. But I know that statistically I lose some of you people, especially when I'm at 24 minutes. So I'm going to try to read a few more comments. And then I'm going to be out for today. Okay, so One more thing, people. You guys know you can just Google my album, which is just right there. You can actually stream it and listen to it on Spotify and stuff like that. Just Google just right there. And okay, Kevin Love. All right. With the exception of Jordan's rookie, see, okay, they're talking about Jordan, and it's not fixed. So Peter Gatlin, Gaten said it's not fixed. Supreme, the Celtics pursue Blake Griffin and Gordon Hayward in free agency. To talk about that, okay, for one, to me, oh, look at the mom and baby skunk. For one, to me, Blake Griffin is still a dynamite, very strong player. And in the right position, he's like a Kevin Love and LeBron James mix to me. You know what I'm saying? He's a powerful, strong guy that if he finds the right place to be, it's just going to be a lights out. He's just a dynamite, strong, really strong guy who can, um, he can Xavier McDaniels you in a heartbeat. He can just push you around. He plays with, just a ferocious player, and he could be a real tool to come in. And now he can match up with Draymond Green. If you ask me, let Draymond Green try to match up with that dude, Blake Griffin. Try to muscle him around. Look. If Griffin is in free agency and LeBron James is looking for some muscle, get rid of Love, grab Blake, get rid of Thompson, grab Melo, and just, bomb from the outside all day until you feel like hurting somebody on the inside, and just send Blake Griffin in to just demolish it. I mean, when this dude slams, he slams, looks at you, and dares you to say something. Like, this dude is strong. So, yeah, I'm with that all day. But you're saying that he's going to go to the Celtics. And truthfully, that's fine with me. With Gordon Hayward, that's fine with me, because I want to see the Celtics get with Cleveland again in the playoffs, because the Celtics got embarrassed. It was like they weren't even there. Look, listen, they were playing with them so much that even the commentators was just like, LeBron James wasn't even serious. When you saw the write-up about what they did to the Celtics, it was just terrible. They were just shooting the ball up and just, did it go? I don't know. I don't know if it went in. What time is it? Is this over yet? That's embarrassing. I would love to see Blake Griffin get in there and, come down on LeBron a couple times. I really would. I want to see a fight. I'm not a physical fight, but I want to see a good game. At least I want to, hear about it. So that's what I think about that. Luis Ramirez comment, trade LeBron. That's going to be my next video. So this is your boy Tone 202. You guys, guys, take it easy. God bless. The Lord God loves you guys. And I will talk to you later. Please. Peace.